going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It's a good Wednesday because we are safely inside the cut line no matter what happens. That is the big thing. Cut line looks like there's a pretty decent chance if everybody plays in the next couple hours here that it moves to 17. Fortunately, we have set ourselves up nicely. No stressing. Just get to play and not worry about the line moving on us. Hey, what's going on, Kara? How we doing today? Grinding out and clutching it. Holy cow. I mean, I had the roughest go of it. Like, as in, I started the furthest back. So to pull off that round 2, I'm very, very pleased with. Because what, I was 5 under, you were 6 under, and Hemo was 7? Yeah. And then we pulled out the same second round, right? We both pulled out 13s. Crazy stuff. Because, like, looking back at it, like, it's sometimes hard to process that in the moment, like, what's happening. You know, like, we're going through it, and I know I'm shooting well and hitting well, but I'm, like, not... I'm just so focused on the next shot. Okay, or I guess this shot, not really the next shot, but like looking back at the scorecard and there's, you know, we hit a 42 footer and, you know, we made one par after that. Birdied everything else on that back 9. Trying to remember what the par was as well. Lindsay still to go, same with Witness. Yeah, and like obviously you've got a couple people out there like Scotty who can make a cut. Like he's definitely got it. It's just a matter of like who's gonna play because there's not a ton of time left. Don't know if Steve's playing or not. Yeah, what's he been up to lately? I saw him streaming, was it earlier this week or last week I saw him stream and it felt like I haven't seen him around much at all. Life's been tough. Yeah, you just never know, cause like for some people it's life, some people it's just like not being there with the game anymore. Whether that be burnout or just onto, you know, other interests for a while. Honestly, it still shocks me that I'm this into this still. Like, as somebody who's never had a chance, I'm not gonna say never had a chance, but as someone who is not, I'm a long shot to win on any week. You know, I think that's probably the better statement. You know, for me to get as fired up. I mean, like, now, being able to sweat out a cut line when it's that tight, I think, is definitely different than sweating out a normal plat cut. Right, just assuming we go back in time and there's a cut in plat at top 65 in ties, as opposed to 50. You know, that 50 mark makes it difficult, puts pressure on all 4 rounds, as opposed to, like, I can mess up a round and then come back through the final 3, but when you put a cut line in it, you know, we mess up the first round like we did on Monday, and all of a sudden, you know, you gotta sweat, like, now all of a sudden round 2 has to be that much better. It's not just play slightly above average for 3 rounds, it's play well above. Got the blood pumping in the first 2 rounds. Yeah, like, I don't know, it's an interesting thing because there's the part of me that enjoys that I'm guaranteed 4 rounds a week, right? Like, the content side of me likes that, but the content side also is like, there's no cut sweating. Which is also kind of funny because from a live stream perspective, right? Like, it's better, I think, with the sweat of the cut, but whereas with the YouTube videos, it's like not as good. Like, you want to have all 4 rounds and then, you know, where it may lay. Bad round 1, guess I'm checking out. See, I look at it as like, I don't know, I don't see it as like a checking out sort of thing because of 1 bad round. Like, if you have 1 bad round and there's a cut, you know, you can either fully check out because it's like, oh, I'm not gonna make up that difference here, right? Or it could be super sweaty of like, okay, I just have to pop off. But if I have a really bad round now, like, it's like, okay, I have 3 rounds to make up for that, but it means I have to play really well for 3 rounds. I don't know, personally, like, I won't write off my tournament on 1 round. I might be disappointed in the tournament as a whole, but to me, then at that point it switches to, well, let's make sure that we don't play poor enough to get demotion marks. Which, we are now officially rid of our demotion marks after making this cut. Final demo mark is going away. See you later. We'll see how swing unfolds. We're a little bit back and forth right now, but I think we'll dial into it just fine. Gonna need to with the way the conditions are gonna be today. I know it's very high winds. I don't really remember everything else. I think very soft fairways, moderate fast or something like that. I know it's soft greens. Soft and fast. Okay. That's really gonna mess with the brain. Like, it's gonna change quite a bit about how you approach some of these things. Because things still roll out, but that initial bounce, you know, and it takes a little bit of spin off of stuff. I feel like we're gonna want fast green practice, but we're also gonna want high wind or very high wind practice. Those are mediums. I believe that's 7.2, so that's a little too slow. High, very firm, moderate. All right. I know Elite has faster greens. How much shape he uses now? Yeah, because I know he, like, wouldn't really use that much, and he finally kind of bit the bullet a little bit. Alright, we'll try Elite Round 1. It's got high winds. Everything else is different. So we'll just We'll just try and use Peconic Fields here as a little bit of a feeler for the swing as a whole. But yeah, I mean, that's a mental thing, right? Because the way I look at it is, yes, if you miss tempo, you're gonna miss worse, but I don't know, at a certain point, you have to have confidence that you are going to hit the shot that you intend. And it's just the type of thing that the game requires. Not the game requires such precision, but the courses require such precision that, you know, you either are gonna give yourself the opportunity or not. You know? We're hitting some straight balls here. But yeah, the course designers are basically saying, like, you have to hit this shot in here with loft and spin, or else you're not gonna get it anywhere close. Or same with fairways and stuff. Yeah, you really have to. Being in the rough is pretty much impossible on the harder course. Yeah, like, every once in a while, like, we found a couple of birds, but it takes the right hole location and then probably still making a putt. Kind of messed up this hole, eh? Hitting it too straight. If you lay that up, I don't want 200 yards coming into this. That's the thing. Okay, swing's getting a little funky because I'm like trying to make sure that I get the push, so I gotta like reset the way that I'm sitting or something. I never read those things right, nor do I seem to ever hit them with the right amount of power. But yeah, I don't know, I've always been a big fan of the shot shaping. But I also think, you know, I've always talked about it. You know, my use of the shot shaping and approach game is largely dictated by the fact that if I'm outside of 6 feet, like all of a sudden there's a 1 in 5, 1 in 4 chance that I'm gonna miss, or worse. You know, like I do not make many long putts. So I just think by necessity, that's kind of just how I've learned to play and adapt and... this is a test. This is purely a test. See if I can roll the gap wedge out there off of the downslope. You can almost get it all the way there, which is kind of crazy. But that's the type of thing when you start to raise the green speeds. Obviously there's some trickiness that comes with green speeds that are that high. Because when you start rolling it, then it's like, okay, well, where is it going to stop rolling? But those shots can be pretty fun. Alright, what do we got here? 10 to 11 and uphill 5. 148. Just crazy. As soon as I stop counting, it's so bad. And like the crazy thing is it's bad when I'm counting, so the fact that it gets worse when I stop, I really wonder how I'm a functioning plat player with this bad of a flat stick. Like world ranked to putting stats, I have to be the worst ratio. If that's even a stat that you could track. Ended up in the bunker. Wind just didn't take over quite like I was expecting. You want to land it somewhere in like here? Yeah. A little bit too fast. Little bit too fast. Man, they really draw up like a lot of holes in the same distances, and I hate it. Like, okay, we're gonna give you a headwind. It's gonna be just too much for a 4-iron to be able to make it. Because then I sit here and just wonder, like, okay, well, how do I... 235... Gotta take 10 yards off. I thought the wind was gonna bring it back around. I'm just glad we're not playing on faster greens. Like the fact that 160, and I can't speak for round 4, but the fact that 160 is the highest that we're playing, I do have great appreciation for. Because as difficult as this plat course is, I will say, I think the biggest things about it that make it more reasonable from like a settings perspective is you have soft fairways. The greens haven't been very firm. They're only playing like right around fast. Because I think very firm greens most of the time is dog crap. Anything above fast is typically pretty bad. Firm fairways are okay sometimes, but when they're, you know, firm and very firm fairways are comboed with the cambered fairways, you know, those are less than ideal also. You like 134s CFR? Yeah, 134s tend to be, I would say on average, 134 is my best putting speed for making putts. I don't get it. Some of these, I think I had like one putt not break early and now I'm low on everything. Into the bunker we go, maybe through the bunker if we're lucky. Oh, there you go. Right through the bunker. How you draw it up? Okay. So can I just say I'm glad this isn't our course? That's disgusting. Like, what do you want from the player there? Because when you make it that slope behind, you're saying, okay, you can't hit it to the hole on your first putt. Like, excuse me? And then that doesn't break. Yeah, okay. I'm so thankful this is not our... I feel bad for the elite guys. What a load of crap. Now don't get me wrong, I would be sitting down and taking a bit more time with these if we were actually trying for it, but like, I don't know, in my opinion there's a certain line in terms of acceptability and trying to use the wind, and it did not carry enough. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I just don't care enough for this. Yeah, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And like, I'm really trying to not, you know, don't want to just sit here and be moaning and complain. I mean, it's not even, like, we're just using it to warm up. But this feels more... feels a bit more dick punchy than Platt does. That came up so much shorter, jeez. And all I wanted was to get into a groove with reading some winds and hitting some good inputs, but yeah, this course has other ideas. I think we're just gonna go with the D-loft on it. Keep hitting these slow though. Is really less than ideal. Too high? Yeah. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think when I was going through round 1 of our, like, the VOD for round 1, I'm like 99% certain that I made 1 long putt in round 1 as well, and it was a par save. I know for certain we only made 1 long putt in round 2, so I am pretty sure that through 2 rounds on Plat we've made 2 long putts. Not 100% certain if I'm missing any, but yeah. Not great. Neither is the abundance of slows that we are hitting. I will say, sometimes I wish that we had the percentage so that, like, not necessarily for practice swings and stuff, but just so I knew that when I hit my input, like, how far over or under I was hitting. Because it is a bit on the feel side. Tempo's terrible right now. And then that breaks more and still rolls. Yeah, hopefully we've got fast on a round after this or something. Because I know it was moderate and 140 something. Might have to play the 140 something just because this feels so different. I'm not hitting 4-iron, right? There's no way. Maybe there is a way. Maybe there is a way. And then off the green. Wow! Wow, 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 wow! Very surprising. It's crazy sometimes, like how much, when you've got a shot like that, when it's so shaped, how much the little fast takes it off course. Like that is the one big trade-off with shot shaping. That is absolutely the one big trade-off with shot shaping. Oh, man. Gonna be a tough one to get the hybrided climb, but I feel like the 3-wood was always long, so this is the best chance. Ah, that's crazy. I thought because we hit it on the green that I would actually get it to go, but if you take if you take 3-wood, I'm out the back, so. That'd be a little bit far. I'm trying to take some mental notes on like green grid colors and like how they tend to break. Which I know is not how I normally look at it. Yeah, I don't know if it's this course in general or just this round, but man, does it feel like a big ol' kick in the teeth. Okay. Sometimes make it happen. Ball striking definitely hasn't been as good today, but I also feel not as comfortable, so I'm probably gonna go kick on the AC. After this, it's been one of those weird days where like it's super humid and stuff inside because it was cooler outside today, but it was raining all day, so it's like a lot warmer in the house because it's just been closed up all day. In turn has just made it a bit uncomfy. That animation looked kind of funky. At least from that angle, it looked like the ball was rolling towards me, but it was actually dropping down into the cup. Hey, what's going on, George? You're level 25, looking how to maximize skill points in club fittings. So I will say that skill points are mostly meaningless. I wouldn't be too concerned with them. I can show you what I've got though. Hey, what's going on, Vandy? Welcome back. So this is the way I've got my skill tree built out, and as you can see, I don't really have much of anything in the middle. It's mostly around the edges. So for me, I'm taking boost on driver. Biggest ones being the lie range boost for the occasional driver off the deck. Flight tee boost. Power boost. Yeah, flight boost off the tee for into the wind, and then also power boost off the tee. I put more points into power, so like as far as your fittings go, I would say mostly focus on power and lie range. The other stats don't really matter. At least we play on Master Swing, so once you get up to Master Swing, you don't get any more perfect area, so your white doesn't grow, it's just the gray. So it's like the more comfortable you are with the shot mechanic and the closer to perfect you are every time, the less you have to worry about that range. So I pretty much have max power on driver, and then I have a good amount of power on the rest of my clubs. It's all about club gap at that point. But yeah, so I have swing path on most of my clubs, so I took tempo here. Then I've got tempo off the tee for woods. Timing boost on chip shots and pitch shot and spin boost on pitch shots. Thing is, in here, like, I don't like the flight boost because I don't want my yardages to change for my irons. I'm okay with the yardage changing for driver because it's the tee shot and that dictates everything else. I like knowing where my yardages are normally. And then just some putt boosting. Don't take this one though. Roll boost is bad. You don't want the greens to be faster. Horrible. Horrible skill. Hey, what's going on, Mike? Welcome back. Yeah, and then like as far as my fittings go, like I said, I've got power on the driver. I have my base is the sculptor, so that's why it has a heavy amount of shaping, but I also like the shot shape for my club gaps, so. But yeah, I'm pretty much down in the 80s for all of my other clubs. 84, 81, 87, and 86. The worst skill in any game in the history of it. Yeah, it's pretty bad, Vandy. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I like max power off the tee. And then this is all just club gapping. So the way that I look at my game personally, I don't like to take partial shots. I shot shape my club gaps. So, you know, this 11-yard club gap, very shapeable. And then when I get down to my irons to wedges, it's 14 yards. Or 139, 125, and 111, and then 153. So it's 14 yards between my wedges, but I can fully loft to take about 20 yards out with the shot shaping I have. So there's overlap there. I can say, okay, I want to de-loft this club and have it roll a little bit, or I can take a club and loft it and sit it, you know, depending on the situation. Gaps at the top. Bigger gaps at the top. Like these are my hardest gaps to fill, but biggest gaps at the top, and then yeah, that like 10 to 15 yard range is pretty good. On longer irons, it has to be a little bit closer together because you lose the ability to gain yardage on de-loft. You know what's crazy? I think we have 93 legend fittings. Just kind of stockpiling them. But we still have... I just don't care to change anything. We've got a couple of epics still on here. Misread a shot, you can feel horrible because there were probably 3 ways you could have gotten the proper yardage. Yeah, but I mean, it's all what the situation calls for, right? But it allows you a little bit of creativity, and if you want to try and run something or try and sit something, you know, I personally am just not a fan of having to try and partial it because I don't want to shift my tempo. I would rather consistently take 100% power shot, be really consistent on that, and then just have to be more accurate on my tempo as opposed to having the same accuracy window, but it's shifting. That's how I view it, at least. Alright, I'll be right back. Like I said, I'm gonna go kick on the AC, so I'll be back in a minute or two. It's just like awfully stuffy in here, so feeling a little bit uncomfortable, and definitely when the juices get flowing for the round, I don't want that to be hindering. Partials are for driver, 3-wood, 3-hybrid, and 3-iron. Well, I don't have a 3-iron in the bag. But yeah, a lot of times for me, Vandy, it's like partial is for driver, and then most else, like I just shot shape. So most else, like if I run out of loft to take off of a shot with like a 3-wood or something, then I start putting draw or fade. Right? Because that has yardage negation. You can run that into the wind a little bit to help take off yardage faster. Or to shape, you know, take distance off and get a direction. Definitely is the most creative that my brain gets, because otherwise I'm a pretty straightforward player. But yeah, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. We'll play another warm-up round here, and then we'll hop into Plat. So appreciate y'all. If you're watching on YouTube and you're enjoying, please drop a like on the stream. It goes a long, long way. Yeah, I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Alright. We back. That was your original grand vision? Figured out you're terrible at drawing fade approaches? Well, the big thing with it is not so much... Like, it's easy enough to get a feel for how much shot... Like, how much distance comes off on the shot shape, right? But it's... Once you bring elevation into play... and tempo mishits and all of that, like, that's the other big side. But, like, all factors... all other factors removed. I mean, the way I look at it is like... yeah, I just want to take some distance off of this. Take a few yards. It's tough when you want to take a lot of yardage, but if you're only looking for a few... So like here, I've got a gap of... I can carry this out to 225, fully backspun, or this goes to 235. But then it's like, okay, well maybe I went 230 and I can start taking some off. But yeah, it's like factoring in, okay, how much is... Because you have to be so certain of how the wind is going to play stock and then add everything else in. So it's like, okay, this is how the wind plays with no other factors. All right, now am I lofting it? Am I shaping it back into the wind? Because sure, that might take 5 yards off if you move it a little bit, but the wind might play, you know, if it's playing into it, that 5 becomes 8 or something. Like it could definitely ramp up really, really quickly. Alright, I don't think I want to play Elite Round 2, but I am going to look at the conditions. High winds, firm, fast. I mean, the green speed comes down. We'll give it a couple of holes. The problem is the other ones are not on the right green speed. But we'll give it a couple of holes and we'll give it like a proper... We'll give it a proper effort. I can't really... Man, they really force you into a lot of layups. Yeah, if we're not having fun with it, then maybe we won't play this as our second warm-up. Alright, so firm, fast, which we're going to be playing on very slow, or very soft, fast. So this part is not accurate. It's more about when we're on the greens, how things are going to play. Okay, this is all about rollout. Bounce and roll out. Did not count as a push. Yeah, well, when you hit a straight ball and you're expecting not a straight ball, that is quite problematic. Okay, we're gonna give these proper putt reads. Which I think is actually gonna be quite tough because the default green speed is so much higher, right? Default is 8, whereas it's like 7.6 or something for plat. So some of these grids might end up being a little bit funky. Big thing though is just we've gotta dial in. Gotta dial in when it comes to these tempos. Everything else becomes a little bit secondary. So you can get away with some of those baby fasts, but really would like to see some more perfects coming our way. Okay, so those are the types of putts that if we find ourselves, which more than likely we will, right? Very high winds. I'm not really expecting a repeat of yesterday. So very high winds. I'm expecting some longer putts. We're gonna want some of those to go our way. But we're always gonna want them to go our way. We need them to. Not as much as we need them to in round 2. We're inside the cut line, so. But I don't want to be complacent. I think that's kind of the big thing, right? Don't want complacency to creep in. Just because we've made a cut, like that shouldn't be all that we strive for. A little bit fast though. Yeah, those aren't ever easy putts. I feel like as soon as you have to go downhill, get very interesting. I know that it's not a putting set that's probably tracked, but I would actually be pretty interested to know my putting stats uphill versus downhill. Because I would assume that everybody is worse downhill. Or at least like 99% of people are worse downhill than uphill, but I would love to see disparity. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to see disparity. I would love to know what the disparity is. Just gotta clarify just a little bit. Disparity is definitely not what I'm after. 10-mile-an-hour wind. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty wild because trying to dial in how much the soft is going to affect things, because that shot there with the soft green, that landing, yes, it's on fast, but that initial bounce dictates so much. It dictates so much. That's something I should test at some point. Is like ability for the ball to roll back off of a soft, like a very soft green versus a fast green, like a firm green. Obviously it's not gonna bounce as far, but like what does that rollback then look like? Or what is that initial, you know, given the same green speed when it hops, how long does it take to stop? And what's going on, Singo? Downhill putts suck. Struggle the most with elevation on par threes. How much you need to club up or down? So general rule of thumb, Singo, and not just for par threes, but for all approach game. General rule of thumb is every 3 feet of elevation up takes a yard off of your shot, and vice versa. Every 3 feet down adds a yard of carry. Now that has a rolling scale, so that's a general rule of thumb. The caveat to that is wedges play a little bit less. By like what I would say is like 10% adjustment. So it's not really 10%, but say it's downhill 30 feet. A wedge is gonna play 30 feet, you know, divided by 3, so 10 yards. Minus 30 feet divided by 10 as yards. So what I mean by that is like 30 divided by 10 is 3, and then you subtract that. So, you know, instead of 10 yards, it's 7. As you go up to driver, it becomes more true. I know that sounds a lot more complicated than it's meant to be. So the easiest part is just take like the first number, because it's, you know, instead of playing like 2.4 or something, you just 2 yards off. So I can run through a few, because that's how I do all of my approach math. Oh, okay. I thought that sounded way firmer, so I got really concerned. And by way firmer, I mean it sounded way faster. Like the input sounded like it was worse than it actually was. Okay, let's see. Sometimes you feel incorrect. All right, so here's a par 3. So 4 iron, like that's 6 yards off. So my 218 club now is carrying 212. So I mean, if you're ever in a pinch and you know you don't want to do math, that's the general concept. But say this was my lob wedge or sand wedge or something, right? The way I look at it is the lob wedge is like the full, and then it slowly rounds out towards the pitching wedge. So a pitching wedge, I would still play this as 6 yards off. But with a lob wedge, I would play it closer to 4, because 6 minus 1.7. So I would say this is closer to 4 yards less. And then as I went up to sand wedge and gap wedge, maybe it's 5 instead of, you know, It's like kind of like a 4, 5, 6, and then it's 6 for everything else. So when I start my math on this approach shot, I have 240 yards of carry minus 6. So this goes 234, and then I'm factoring in the wind, because the wind is a variable against the elevation. Because if it's uphill, the wind plays less. If it's downhill, the wind plays more. So then I would say high winds, 12 mile an hour. This probably plays normally about, on a diagonal here, maybe it plays like 15 or so. But it's going to play a little bit less. So I'd start at 219. Right, 234 minus 15, 219, which is just past this, a little bit less. So I'm going to just play a stock 3 hybrid. Push out to the right. Wind takes it a little bit more to the right. $218. So unfortunately, not quite enough. Wind did end up playing a little bit more there. Played just a bit more headwindy than sideways, so I gave it a little bit less credit than I needed to. But that is the concept right there. So, I mean, that was it, right? Like we hit the perfect, we hit it where we wanted to. Regardless, though, I'm always gonna struggle with that shot just given my yardage. Because I have two options when it comes to adding distance into a headwind with my hybrid, and that is overpower or trying to shape a 3-wood, which I don't think I would ever shape a 3-wood there, so. $162 and then 48. So you can, this is where it gets tricky. 150. This plays 136. Can try and play D-loft on it. Be interesting to see if this actually punches through. A little fast, so it definitely should. Oh yeah, we had enough. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for people that are able to play based on feel. I do not have the feel bone in me. I'm very much so a player of logic and math. But I also just think that that's how I am in life. Jeez. Yeah, I thought I might have underhit that, but that's crazy how much it still rolls then. Okay, can you carry this? 380. 316, that's 330. $344. I mean, straight over probably really only carries out to like 350, and I'm not getting 30 yards through the grass. You'd have to overpower that like crazy to get it to go all the way. Gonna be lame. We'll take the very safe middle of the fairway 3-wood. Because it's also about approach angle. I don't want to go down that hill and be out of the rough with less room to work. That's so mean. Man, this course is it is a mean one. It is a very, very mean one. And talk about needing to be precise. 86. Wind just carries it down a little bit from here. Big bounce and then it's rolling. I wonder if you just put full backspin and allow it to drift out towards, like if this is the point that I want to land. Because then it rolls around that ridge and there's a little bit of backstop. I mean, that's what we're going for, right? I guess full backspin is gonna stop it. Like, I don't know, there's a part of me that wants it to roll a little bit more, so you get a little bit more feed towards the hole. Okay, can you make it to this? So the end of that bunker is 366. I don't think you have enough here. Don't think you have enough. 300, yeah, you can, even with a 3-wood. I will say that's one thing that seems to be fairly nice about this course is even with 3-wood layups, a lot of the holes still seem to have reasonable second shot distances. What I always hate is when it feels like you're forced into a 3-wood layup, but then if you lay up with the 3-wood, you're basically conceding like a 3-wood hybrid or 3-wood par 4. And that is most of the time par. Not always, but a good chunk of the time it is. That's pretty decent. It's gonna be too big of a kick, isn't it? I did like the line, but yeah, that's still a bit bouncy. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Okay. Kind of knew that was firm. Can I ask a real dumb question here? When you're in the rough, for example, it says you'll get 50% power max. Is that 50% distance on a 100% power shot? Would you only get 50% distance on, say, a partial as well? So like when you have a live percentage, that's gonna be on whatever shot power that you take. So if you if you underhit it, right? If you hit 100% shot here, it's gonna go 97 to 98% out of the fairway. But you can see here as I like move the marker back, that shifts to 96 to 97%, and that would be of the now that's in the bunker. So of the 200-yard shot, it would then be 96 to 97% of that. I don't think this is worth anything. But why not? It's a long splash shot out of the bunker, but that's honestly kind of okay. It is if you actually hit your... I didn't hit up. I was so concerned about hitting a big fast that I just didn't swing the club. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Splash shots always seem to be either too long or too short. Well, there's also the lie. The lie is a factor in that as well. Right, getting the uphill, downhill lie in the bunker and everything correct. And you're more often hitting partials, so it's, maybe you're not aiming enough. Because these grids, the other thing that's kind of funky, Singo, these grids are a meter. So, if you're trying to add 3 feet of power, it's not actually, or let's say it's maybe you're trying to add 9 feet of power because that's more realistic. It's not 3 full boxes, it's actually 2.5. Maybe not that drastic, but the further you go, it's not, it gets further away. Then you might end up short. Let's see here. 145. Not great. Low 130s. Might play a little bit less. I normally don't like doing this. I'm gonna try and de-loft this up. Doing what I'm doing on my splash shots to get it up and down, because sometimes you fail to get the power right to get it over the lip of the bunker. Scared to overpower and send it off the green. I mean, when you see me work through, I work through my splash shots and everything the same way that I work through any other shot, especially like chipping. You know, I'm first calculating where I want to land it, right? That's number one. Where I want to land it, and then I'm making adjustment for the uphill lie. Or I'm adjusting for the lie in the bunker, if it's uphill or downhill. I'm adjusting for the elevation, and then I'm adjusting for the lie percentage in the middle. Like, I take the middle of the lie range, unless, like, if I can't be short or it can't be long, then, you know, you take the high end or low end to take that out of it. I mean, from there, you still have to execute the input, right? You still have to hit your partial input, but that's my general flow with it. Get up out of the bunker. Well, it's to let it sit. So I go full off, full backspin on almost every splash shot, because then it wants to hop and stop. Sits a little softer. Yeah, it helps clear bunker lips. And it doesn't just release like crazy, because an unshaped splash shot rolls. If you full off, full backspin, it's going to sit a lot nicer. So when you plan it, like, I know pretty much, you know, I'm landing those couple yards in front, it's going to hop, and then it's going to want to bite. Yeah, I'm just trying to get it to play near the hole with a chance of holing out, but I'm not like trying to land it up and let it release a ton most of the time. Every once in a while, if it's into an uphill, maybe I'll take a little off the spin. Input felt good. I'm a little bit surprised at the distance. Oh boy. Putts like that sometimes just freaking break on you. My goodness. My goodness. $159. Like 13-mile-an-hour headwind. So I think stock is gonna be a-okay, because it's gonna want to play short. Give a little bit more to the right. Ah, way too slow. Sit faster, more yeah, like, yeah, you just have, in my opinion, like, you just want to be able to sit it. I'm sure other people have different philosophies on the splash shot. I'm just a very big proponent of getting it to just slow down. Get it up, hop it, try and be right around the hole and have a pretty easy next putt. Like, there's a chance of holing it out, but more often than not, it's just about getting it near the hole so that you don't drop any strokes. And once you get familiar with like how that plays, then you can get a little bit more creative with like, okay, I can be more aggressive here. I've got more room to work. Maybe I'll let it land a little shorter and try and release a little bit. This is gonna play so far to the right. 193, 191. This is definitely more than 6 yards, my goodness, but I'm not losing 16 on this. I mean, I guess. I don't know, shaping a 5-iron here seems a little. Not when you slow it. Overshaped or over-aimed it. No, shape was correct. This is one of those funky ones that breaks way more on the right-hand side than the left. We need putts to drop today, right? Need to get the putter going. Hey, good evening, Busey. How are we doing today, sir? Hit that fast, yeah. It's in the crap. 274 yards. So we would have been able to go after the green, but you're trying to just skip that on, so it's about the lowest definition of getting it on. There we go. That's the swing we need. You're good? Glad to hear it, man. Halfway through the week? Or over halfway through the week? Getting close to the weekend? I'm still trying to figure out if I want to try and golf this weekend. Because it is supposed to rain. Supposed to rain Saturday and Sunday, but next weekend is Memorial Day, so I'm gonna be out of town with my family. Like, I wanna get out. I don't want to have to wait until June to go golfing again. So. Nothing like the real short defensive putts like that. I hate it, but like, you have to be. You absolutely have to be. Has the weather forecast changed here at all? 70% chance of rain. Ah, man, it's supposed to rain all Saturday. That's not going to be worth it. And then it's supposed to keep raining until Sunday morning. I don't think I'm going to be able to finagle anything there. Read a fairway lie, like on the last hole, knew the ball would kick out to the right. Do I use feel for that? Measuring some... mostly feel. So I know that every shot's going to kick out to the right because that's how my swing path goes. So, like, I know that if I'm trying to aim... Say there was no wind. If I'm trying to aim dead at the flag, I know that on an 8-iron, I need to aim about here-ish. Right, and then with this wind, then I'm kind of trying to feel that out. As far as the fairway lie on top of it, it kicks out more the high, like the longer the club, the more the kick out is. And then from there, it's just kind of feel. Sometimes you can kind of get a gauge based on the way that the like foot alignment feels, and if you can kind of try and visualize that out. Side to side Singo is definitely a weaker aspect of my game. I hit a lot of stuff pin high, but well off target, left or right. Which this is like a perfect example, right? We're just about pin high, but 3 yards right of the hole. So side hill lie and wind, like side wind, is something that I've gotten a little bit better at, but I would say largely is still a pretty big weak point for myself. $11, 108, side wind. It's gonna bounce, but just a little bit into it. So here, right? This I know it's a lob wedge, so it's not gonna play a ton comparison to some of the longer clubs. I hit out to the right, so like when I look at this, I just kind of know from experience that my push right versus this is only gonna net like it should only net a little bit left, right? Then I kind of play that aim plus the wind, you know, up the hill from there. Hit it a little bit slow, so we're right and short, but now if that's like a 4-iron or something, that's still going plenty left. So it's just kind of getting that balance of, you know, you learn it over time for sure. Typically take off a few yards and aim to the right because you slightly fast 90% of your shots, so you've accepted that you have a draw with your swing. And there's nothing wrong with, like, if you have that level of consistency. Also, can we just talk about all of a sudden you bring the green speeds down and make my swing a little bit better and we shoot tied for the best round? Alright, so we're at least not completely crap. Please don't delete this part so you can go over it. Maybe YouTube, Duke. So I have in our tips video, I have like a few bits of these things. I'm not gonna say everything, because obviously this conversation, I would say, is a bit more in depth. I assume we've watched that already, but yeah, I'm not gonna delete it. It'll be in the YouTube live VOD and the Twitch VOD. So the YouTube live VOD will be there forever. But yeah, that's one thing that like I'll try and have some better information, I think, in the next game. Try and like actually get some more refined details for it. But it's a lot of feel. It's a lot of feel and experience at this point of just like how far you think that's gonna play. One like win tip, and maybe this is useful for some people. One thing that I've tried to do is kind of map out reference points on my character for how much a side wind plays. So say it's a 12-mile-an-hour side wind, I know that on an 8-iron, that's roughly at about my character's shoulders in their stance. So I try and have like little visual reference points like that. And you try and have different reference points for different clubs and a couple different wind speeds. Because then at least if you have that, it's like, okay, I have that, and then the live plays this, and they kind of add or subtract. You can try and ballpark it a little bit more. All about just trying to find things that are repeatable that you can, reuse and take course to course, shot to shot. All right, let's take one final look at the, well, maybe not final look. Let's take a look at the current leaderboard. There are obviously still people left to play, but we are running out of time. We've made it inside the cut line, currently sitting tied for 33rd out of 135 players. Top 50 in ties making the cut. That's ridiculous. Okay, so Lindsay shot 16 under in round 1. We'll see what Lindsay can do in round 2, but all of a sudden, Lindsay might be climbing up to the top of the leaderboard here through 2. So we're sitting at 48 out of 48 plus ties at 16 under. We made it in at 18 under. A little bit of time left, so time will tell if that cut line's gonna move to 17. But we are safe as it stands. Let's get after it. Let's get after it. Everything to play for at this point. Things are gonna be tough. That we know that. That's how it's been the entire time. But at least we know there's a little bit less stress. We don't have to do anything crazy to make the cut. Now it's just, okay, where can we finish in this thing? And if we can play like round 2, that's gonna prove to be pretty good. So round 3 conditions are as follows. It's the only tee set. It's the only tee set. I come here every time. It's the only tee set. There's no surprises here. Very high winds out of the northwest. Fairways go down even softer. Didn't think that was going to be possible. We dropped from soft to very soft. Greens are soft, and greens maintain their speed at fast. So it's gonna be a challenge in terms of wind, but hopefully the soft greens may get receptive and we can drop some darts in here. Hey, thank you, Jet Ski. Hope you're doing well tonight. All right. So when we say very high winds, we're talking right out the gate at like 18, 19 mile an hour. But very soft fairways and everything feeding over that way down the hill. Let's watch that drift, 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 drift. Soft fairways, less bounce, exactly. Exactly. So you have firmness on the fairways and firmness on the greens, and that dictates how much bounce there is. So we had soft, which was designer default soft, which is a little bit firmer than course default soft. Then we were on soft for round 2. Now we're on very soft. So there's a lot of there is a lot of camber in these fairways. So the fairways being on the softer side is very, very good for us. 160, and then you've got that crosswind, but it's soft, so like you have to land it in closer. That's where this gets to be a bit interesting. So downhill lie, 160. Say it carries 162. I mean, it's like 20. A few yards further than this is going to be a soft bounce. Okay, so I'm going to try with the soft bounce to get it to bounce and release a little bit. It's going to fire left, but wind should bring it back. Not going to be an easy shot. I did not hit a good tempo. That's off the green. It's too far right. That was bad. That was bad. Just did not quite get all of it. Soft greens, you might actually be able to stop something like this. Whoa. Hit it too fast. Okay, so we take par on the first, not a good input. Unfortunately, like, just need that to be perfect or fast. We let it get to the slow side and, you know, no longer leave yourself with any sort of capability to make a putt. Each round is played on the same course, just with different conditions. Exactly. So every week we have a tournament. It's like an IRL golf tournament, right? Play at one course. The conditions change and the pins change. Tee boxes might change. There we go. Those are the shots we need. $20 an hour. I mean, it's gonna play more than 30 yards off. 166. It's so mean though, because if you go 6-iron here, oh man, 20, call it 34. That's 62, 58. I mean, this better get up and stop. That's gone. Hit it fast. I'm having a hard time right now keeping a good feel for I don't know what to do. This is really bad. It went too far. I'm trying to hit that into the top of the hill. Okay, it's a good up and down. Multiple course tournaments and societies next game? Would be interesting, map. It would be interesting. I kind of doubt it. But it is an interesting concept. In case you don't get over that hill, if it's high enough, yeah, I think at like 9 feet you're good. If it's higher than that, then yeah, height is definitely more of an issue. Being able to join more than 10 at a time. I think we're just in the minority, map. I think the dedicated player base is just the minority. And for the casual player, they're never gonna need more than that. 4-iron to 230, 17 mile an hour wind downhill. 213, like, I just see this 4-iron potentially going short. But then again, I don't really want to be like, oh, well, 252, like, 235, and then trying to take that off, so I feel like my hand is kind of forced here. Only got 101, so we'll see. I think it needs more than that. Alright, well, it needed more than that if it wanted to land on the green, I guess, is more so my point. I really thought we had a chance at it. And ranked, does each course have its own settings and conditions, or are they all set to the same? So there's the concept of the, like, designer, like the course default. So if you go and take a look at the course details, ranked, I would assume, is playing on the default conditions. Now, I think wind speed is something random that's selected. I don't know if each course has a default wind that they use. That might be the case. I don't know if they, like, shuffle different wind speeds. But default conditions, I would assume, in ranked is what they play on. Can't choose default wind in the designer. Yeah, so like, is the it changes based on time, but are certain course styles, not course styles, but like the land types or whatever, I don't know what you call it, terrains? Are the terrains, do they have an influence on the winds that are possible? As far as you know, no. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not blaming the designer for the wind. I don't know a lot about course design, but I do know that it's not the designer's fault for the winds. I'm gonna play this more so left, just in case that bunker in the middle comes into play on the layup. Just because I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Yeah, this is windy. Like, this is very, very breezy. 18-mile-an-hour wind. I mean, it's a crosswind, but still. Which means this 18 is playing more than that. 35. Oh, wow. Okay, so wind did not play as much as I thought there. I'm surprised, to say the least. I am quite surprised. Okay, well... That's still not gonna play high enough. Gosh darn. I feel like I've been really good at reading fall lines, but not getting it high enough to actually fall down the line. Singo, I think we've only lost like 2 or 3 times on ranked. I think we played like 40-something matches and we've lost like maybe twice. But I will say, that's not to say that like everybody that plays ranked is bad. We just haven't played enough to play good players. You're gonna blame the designer for the wind doctor. doesn't play the game. Doesn't know much about the game, but blames the designer anyway. You have the right line of thought. You've definitely got the right idea. Our tempo has not been great. We've been just enough off on our tempo this round, making things a little bit harder on ourselves. But it also doesn't help, like, the conditions are so brutal. Already gonna be hard enough to read. It takes 5 holes and a heck of a lot of effort, but we get a birdie on the card. Most of the top guys play ranked religiously. Being used to the hardest difficulty. Yeah, I don't think, though, that the top guys... I personally think... I like to believe that the top players are playing TGC. Not that the top players on ranked are going to be bad, because you have guys like Woe who came over from being the top of the ranked leaderboard and now are high up in Plat, but playing these sorts of courses and the conditions that you play here versus what you play in ranked on harder settings, it's definitely multiple steps up. Yeah, they're like TFR says, there are definitely some really good players at the top of ranked. And like pro swing to master swing, if you can hit consistently in the center of pro swing, like you're gonna hit it in master swing as well. And like if you're top of ranked, you're probably a really good putter, but you also lose the ability to see your shot shape, or your partial distances. We play on way firmer, faster, higher wind settings, more elevation. So it's all those other components, I think, that are what really level the field out. 182. 20 mile an hour wind that you're hitting back towards. This is Lockshead. This is, man. Very high wind, round 3, you know, the good stuff. Look at that ball just stop on a dime. I gotta look at this again. I missed it by 1%. I missed it by 1%. Oh, man. Hey, what's going on, Lickety? Malahan, welcome back. Round 1, yeah, imagine 19 under through 6 holes on round 1. We'd be living the dream. We'd be living the dream. You know, the beautiful thing is, if you just spam the questions, then it's really easy to not answer. It's when you ask them one by one, really spread out. What are all your fittings? Can you imagine if you could just, like, regurgitate each and every fitting just off the top of your head? But yeah, TFR, even if it was default master swing, I would actually probably play ranked, yeah. And I think there are a lot of people that would play ranked a lot more if that were the case. Soft fairway. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to play mostly lofted on this shot. Try and give this 4-iron a chance to get on the green. Oh, come on, Colby. Oh, this is interesting. There's actually a path to the ball, or to the hole. But it's downhill behind, so there's definitely some want to be a little bit more protective. About this putt. Too much speed. Come on, man. Took off power and everything. Soft greens, come on, you're supposed to not skip like that. Disappointing. Use the 3-wood, just fire my ball off of the fairway for the way that putt went. I like how Logs always comes in and tries to field all of the blame for how things are going. So does that mean you were lurking about on Monday when we shot 5 under? How is that your fault too? 3-wood partial on the green better than using a putter? Absolutely not. I've done driver only. Yeah, good luck hitting even 1% and that thing will fly. Virtual narcissism. Wasn't there for the bad round, but also wasn't there for the really good round. So clearly it's him. Got it. Pretty much trying to get this to the bunker to go up and down. Nothing but birdies and eagles ahead. We're trying, dude. My tempo was just... I was able to really fire yesterday. The tempo's not as good today as it was, unfortunately. I mean, that's bound to be the case. It was really, really good yesterday. But this round is just... It's crazy difficult conditions. Smoke everyone only using just my driver. I forget how much over par we shot. Cause I made it so that I think I allowed myself to putt on the green, but even if I was just on the fringe, I don't think I let myself putt. I think I had to driver chip it, essentially. It was so bad. .188. A 17-mile-an-hour wind just in the face a little bit. You gotta aim it pretty far. Still a little bit of loft. Little long sit. Soft greens, thank heavens. Thank heavens for soft greens. Okay. I mean, it's just a slog out here. It is an absolute grind. Tiger can beat us in a game of golf using only a driver. He's just too good. He's just too good. On his knees, yeah, because when he had a guy hit his drive and then Tiger got down on his knee and outdrove the dude. Which I laughed, but I wish I could hit it anywhere near as far as Tiger with half his body. Just reminds me of how bad I am at real golf. See where we end up with this. Oh, that almost touched the tree. Yeah, I thought that there was a chance of that being not enough to the right, or not enough to the left. I gotta play so much less power because we got screwed earlier. It's a really good lag. It's a really good lag. That's not an easy putt. So if I try 234, 229, we're long and then wind, and then even though it's soft, maybe if I cut it, because I think I have to play that shot because I'm carrying 212, maybe a little bit further, and then what you're hoping to bounce this on and over on soft? Like, am I really gonna get enough kick out off of a soft fairway? So if you get that kick to the right, maybe you can roll and have the uphill shot. I needed to hit the fairway and kick right. I want feet towards the hole. Don't you do something stupid. Come on, man. Alright, we've been struggling to get these high enough. But that also, I don't want it to be that we don't give it a chance. But you have to be far enough left, because if you hit under the hole, this is bad if you hit under the hole. Well, that was what I was also fearful of, was like getting it too far out to the left. But definitely the safer 2-putt option. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. The worst part there is I was pretty close to hitting my tempo and still just end up in that spot. So much for it being very soft. No, I think it is very soft. I think it just has that much kick to it. Albatross in Plat. We've had a couple of albatrosses in Plat. The elusive one is the hole-in-one albatross. Yes, I also did putt for Albie and Trusin. What's going on, Lindsay? How'd you finish up round 2? You know, the worst part is that was like a few weeks, that was like the second week of the Trusin season when this game came out. I peaked so early. There was a hole on the one course we played off of the tee box. There was like a spot you could shoot through the trees and drive the green. Distracted by a beautiful woman, but 31 under through 2, you'll take it. Oh, you know, just a casual 16, 15. Disgusting, dude. Nice shooting. It's the wind that really throws a wrench in this. But I guess it's a matter of if I believe that 16-mile-an-hour wind will take off 10 here. I think it will. Ball below the feet by a good margin. That's gonna miss to the right. Jeez. But you know what? It's that slow. It's that slow, like it changes the spin on that shot. Lox, thank you for the bits, man. Sure you'll choke again? Well, don't put it into existence, man. I don't want to be speaking that into existence. Obviously, knowing you, I was a bit surprised to see that last stretch of like 4 holes last week. Landed just a little bit shorter than I wanted it to. I mean, this round is kicking my behind. But like, as one would reasonably expect it to. I tell you freaking what, I keep hitting baby slows with the wind off that direction and it's not good. Oh boy. No, because Stives would make that putt. What's up, ears? Hey, hey, hey. $195, 19 miles an hour. Hey, 205. That shot onto the green was luck. So I got exactly what I deserved. Had the right shot dialed up there too, just couldn't hit it. Unfortunately, I think it's just one of those... Our tempo's a little bit off, and this round is just a little bit too much for it, and... You know, I think mentally it's hard to stay in it again. Like, these rounds are mental fortitude tests. And when your tempo's not on, it's really hard to have the mental wherewithal to, like, hang in there. If tempo's off or putts aren't dropping, and... Honestly, we've kind of had a bit of both. Really don't see the point in laying up. I was right on the wind read. I never trust that the wind is actually gonna bring it back, so. Didn't give you proper celery to peanut butter ratio? Oh man, it's been a minute since I've had celery with peanut butter. Celery with peanut butter, apple with peanut butter. I'm a sucker for those sorts of. If you're gonna talk like a healthier snack. That's the good stuff. I mean, it's nice to see that, like, scores are only so far ahead of us, but I definitely don't feel like we're making up any ground. We're probably losing ground. Probably still losing ground. I don't know where you want to be. Do you just want to be in this bunker to the left? Because, like, if I drive the green, I have everything coming downhill. That's not uphill enough to stop it. So I feel like you can take this in a way... Try and get it to that bunker left. Like at a worst case scenario. Lead through, roll down. Come back down, somehow stay on the green, be the best shot ever. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. It's gonna kick out right. It's just getting the right distance on this. I hate that. I hate that because I know if I don't play it that way, I'm gonna shoot it past the hole and leave zero chance. I really didn't think it was just gonna stop like that though. Gosh darn it. I hit that so fast. I had a thought at the end there in the back of my head about power and that was really, really bad. Because now you're dead. Like, this is you don't find the fairway, well, that sucks to be you. Back-to-back slows. What a fool. No, there was no way, Singo, for us to get there. That was the problem. Wind didn't really take it. All right, so we're gonna learn from our mistakes of the last one. We're not gonna fully shape it. We learn from the mistakes we make. Would have been nice to have it like a missed par one, or not missed par, like a missed birdie attempt and then the eagle or something, but yeah, we don't drop the strokes, so that's the beauty of that. That pin is tucked back on the right-hand side. But I think realistically, we're okay just getting this hit in the rough at the worst and kick left. All right, come on. Let's make something happen here. 111, 7 yards. Play like 5 or 6. 105. Somewhere in the like 16, but it's sideways. It's not gonna play nearly as much. I think the lob wedge is short. I think the stock lob wedge is like honestly back here somewhere. Try and de-loft it. I think you just try and de-loft it, to be honest. I just don't think I can get myself to aim more right. There's just like an innate fear that, well, what if the wind doesn't take it over? What if it just hangs out to the right? So now we at least get a putt. Maybe we can make something. So we make the last second adjustment. It's a clean 6 under. I mean, round 1 was 5 under in easier conditions. It's not great, or at least it doesn't feel great, but looking at these scores, and you've got people that shot 8 under, 9 under. I feel a little bit better. So like that hurt physically playing, like it just didn't feel like we played good golf. But we kept it clean, we get a few strokes, and we live to see round 4. And I think that's all we can ask for at this point. Ban you forever? No, Lockhead. No, I wasn't firing on all cylinders today. I was having a really hard time hitting my tempos with or without you. I mean, if you really want to go far back enough and roll the tape of the warm-up rounds, it wasn't clicking today. Monday, Tuesday, I was firing tempos and just couldn't get anything to go on plat. Yesterday, we fired through all 3 rounds. Today, I couldn't get the thumb to work the way that I wanted to. You know, and we missed a few makeables. So like, you look at this and you say, okay, well, like proximity's not great again. 2 of 8 long, and we missed a medium putt. So like when you look at those and we missed that, we leave that chip in short. We've left a few chips short actually in this tournament. You know, you look at the whole of it, and you know, that's how you drop strokes. That's how you drop strokes. That being said though, like it says T16, who knows? Who knows what other people shot in that round? Because we shot 6 under, right? We shot 6 under. And we're at 24 through 3. 6 under would be 65. So there's no 65 inside the top 10 that have finished. But you get 65, 68, 69, 66, 66, 67, 66, 67. You know, and these are guys that are finishing in the 30s. So, like, all of a sudden, we pull out a 7 under and we're T17, right? We pull out an 8 under, we jump to T15, 9 under. You know, so we play a good last round, all of a sudden we can catapult ourselves up inside, you know, top 20 overall. Who knows? You know, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Meant to mess with, yeah, like, they're meant to mess with you on a good day. And I think that's kind of the thing that you have to keep in mind when you're looking at this, like, in the grandest of senses. These conditions are essentially meant to test you when you're on top of your game. So when you're off, right, if you're missing reads and tempos and stuff, like, it's not going to be forgiving in the slightest. Like, it is going to absolutely destroy you. Also, TFR, I'm seeing just now, 45 stream streak. The only streak that matters. Get in there, man. That's awesome. 45 streams. I mean, freaking what? So what? We stream 4 days a week. Like, let's think about this. That's over 11 weeks in a row. How about that favorite Pop-Tart flavor? I'm a basic guy. I'm gonna go with frosted brown cinnamon sugar, or brown sugar cinnamon, I guess would be the cinnamon brown sugar. I forget which order it is, but it's a classic flavor. It's a classic flavor. Hey, what's going on, Luis? Also, my wife's family is this way, and I think it's sacrilegious that it even exists. Is it just brown sugar? Frosted brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. So you can eat your words. You can eat your words, Lockhead. That's not. Brown sugar is the flavor. This freaking guy trying to tell me what my favorite flavor is. Frosted brown sugar cinnamon. That's it. That's the flavor. You just go frosted strawberry. Frosted strawberry is a solid one too. A lot of times the two of those come in like the combo packs, right? Where you get a box each or 2 boxes each or whatever. Mandela effect. That needs to be rebranded. All right, you get it. You get on that. You get on that, Logshead. You reach out. You reach out and you try and get them to change it. Say, Kellogg's, hey, a horrible branding. After all these years, I really think. Speaking of the devil, there's the classic combo. Classic combo box. I don't mind some of the other flavors. I can't do blueberry. No. I used to, as a kid, I don't know what it was. As a kid, wild berry, that was something that I looked forward to as just like a special. I don't like that anymore. I personally don't toast them. I know that is obviously the thing with them. You know, I don't toast them. I just eat them. Regular. New Jerry Seinfeld comedy about Pop-Tarts. When I started reading that, Logshead, I thought you were saying that there was a Jerry Seinfeld specialty flavor or something. You know how Ben and Jerry's has the theme. That I really misinterpreted at the start, and then it made sense by the end. You can't do the chocolate stuff, TFR. I can do a chocolate chip or a s'mores. I can do the basic ones. I'm not doing anything too crazy. Make them so I've never actually toasted them. You also tore the sides off, Luis. Okay, interesting. I guess, yeah, I mean, you gotta get a bite of them. You gotta get a bite of the side with the filling. You know, like I can eat pizza crust with or without like a saucy piece with it. But like these, yeah, just eating the outsides on their own if you don't get like a bite of filling, not for me. Haven't had a Pop-Tart in over a decade, like the strawberry the most, though. I had a Pop-Tart, like, a couple days ago. We get them as, like, they're kind of just in the house for if you're in a rush for something to eat for breakfast. Not that it's a healthy breakfast by any means, it's just a bunch of sugar. But it's like, if I'm having a late start to my day and I don't feel like making a bowl of cereal, you can just grab a Pop-Tart out. But yeah, brown sugar cinnamon is my go-to. Like if I had to pick one, that's what I'm going with. And it's gotta be frosted. No frosting is like, what's the point? Eating a Pop-Tart on your break? You wanted sugar, but you didn't want candy? Hey, there you go. Live Pop-Tart being torn apart by college football players doesn't get you to buy one. Nothing. Apple Jacks flavors ones? Wait, what? Apple Jacks Pop-Tarts? I have never seen that. Applejack? The filling. Here's the thing. I like Apple Jacks as a cereal. That filling kind of looks nasty. What? That doesn't look appetizing. It's like just the wrong shade of orange or something. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't sit right with me. Just trust the process. I'm sure it tastes better than it looks. But like right now, it's really throwing me. Don't tell me what to put in my mouth. I'm my own man. I get to decide. Chocolate chip granola bars too? See, I've never had a Pop-Tart granola bar. I've only ever had like standard Pop-Tarts. I've only ever had standard Pop-Tarts. I've never gone like a breakfast bar. Not that I wouldn't like it. Just never tried. Honestly, don't think I've really ever seen them around in stores. Mostly because at Costco, you're gonna just get regular Pop-Tarts. They're not carrying all of the different SKUs. Yeah, Pop-Tarts for us, it's just like every so often. Made by Quaker, so that's... Okay. They're not... Okay, it's not like a chocolate chip Pop-Tart granola bar. You're just saying like a Quaker chocolate chip granola bar. That's like the... That's the standard one, right? Quaker chocolate chip granola bar. Yeah. The chewy granola bars? These are classics, man. This is like classic granola bar. Many childhoods, mine included, have involved this. Now, as an older, you know, I'm a little bit more into life. I make my own purchases. These are not as monetarily efficient as the Costco chocolate chip granola bars. I will have one of those every day as like my mid-morning snack. You know, as something to hold me over a little bit. But a big box of Kirkland chocolate chip granola bars? Sign me up. Sign me up. Don't taste as great at first. You get used to them, and then they're solid. But yeah. Because you would always have, there was also like a 3-pack of them, right? These had like a variety pack. It was like chocolate chip, s'mores, and peanut butter. Yeah, chocolate chip, peanut butter, or peanut butter, chocolate chip, and I think there were like a s'mores one as well. Oatmeal raisin? Ew, get that out of my variety pack. Little Debbie anything? What are the... I don't know that I've, like, really had much of Little Debbie's stuff. Maybe every once in a while. I see, okay, being from the Philly area, I look at these cake ones, I want Tasty Cake. I want Tasty Cake. I don't want Little Debbie's. Give me a Tasty Cake. I think I've had Little Debbie's, like... I think I've had, like, the mini muffins. I think I've had, like, the mini muffins and maybe donuts. Although I think I've probably had more, like, Entenmann's. You know, if you're talking, like, pre-packaged, little chocolate-covered or frosted or whatever. Not frosted. Like, powdered donuts. Like, those are gonna be probably Entenmann's. But yeah, cakes, I want Tasty Cakes. Man, I haven't had a Tasty Cake in so long, but they're so good. Now I'm a little bit disappointed. I go to the Tasty Cake website and they're selling out to Garfield. I don't really want the looking tiger stripe looking ones, but oh man, Tasty, except no substitutes, exactly. These are so good. Candy cakes? Candy cakes? I know Krimpets are big for some people. I'm not a Krimpets fan, but candy cakes and the cupcakes. Give me the buttercream one. Give me the regular chocolate one. I'll take a swirly one too. I'm not picky. I actually, at this point in time, I would probably like the coffee cake. I don't think I've really ever had them, but like these three. So good. So good. Yeah, makes me sad that Tasty Cake is not like a national chain, but if you haven't had Tasty Cakes, I highly recommend it. It's not an ad. This is not sponsored. If they would pay me, that would be really cool. Like, I would absolutely sell Tasty Cakes on stream for free Tasty Cakes. There are a few things that I would sell my channel out for. Tasty Cakes might be one of them. Oh man. Good stuff. So yeah, there's your overly in-depth analysis of what we enjoy. What about Entenmann's? Do Danishes? So Mike, I think Entenmann's I've only had, I think really just like the little donuts, like either the donut holes or the little donuts. Trader Joe's will spot. Trader. Yeah. They really can't be trusted, can they? Although, maybe it would make sense, right? Maybe they're like traders. Maybe they're traders in the sense of like traders against regular, big grocery or something. They're going against the grain with big grocery. Maybe that's what it is. You're a skinny fat boy. Yeah, fortunately my body allows me to be for now. We'll see how that goes as life goes on, but right now we've got a high enough metabolism to keep up with all of the junk. All right, folks, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for tonight. I gotta get out of here. We're not gonna play Hades because it's gonna take too long. I was up way too late last night, so I want to get to bed a little bit earlier, but also want to get some editing work done for the video for this week. So fortunately, we found a few birdies, so we have some content for round 3 to put into the video. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern. We'll play some more golf. We'll play round 4, and we'll take it from there. Hades 2 is possible depending on how the round goes tomorrow and how editing goes tonight. 42 in September. I turn a nice 29 in July. I know people think I'm older than that, and I get it, cause like this is doing me no favors. This is doing me absolutely no favors. But yeah, we're 28 still. Yeah, you never know when the metabolism's gonna go. So we enjoy it while it's here. Hopefully it lasts a while longer. All right. So we're gonna get out of here. Let's go and say hello to Scotty. Appreciate everybody hanging out. How close we are in age every time, Doctor? Yeah, I mean, I think it's the receding hairline plus the fact that like I've got a house and kids. I was gonna say kids. I don't have kids, but like house and a kid. You know, I think that sort of thing always kind of skews people's perception of age. All right, folks. Let's go say hi to Scotty. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate everybody hanging out and watching. If you enjoyed the YouTube stream, make sure to leave a like on your way out. Goes a long way for letting YouTube know what people are enjoying. And yeah, if you're watching on Twitch and haven't subbed to the YouTube, yeah, maybe do that. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. All right, take it easy, everybody. I'll catch you here tomorrow. Bye.